Hey there, Jets Nation. Welcome back to One Jets Pod. Whether you're tuning into our video content or joining us on our audio-only platforms, we've got you covered. If you're enjoying what you hear or see, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and don't just gently tap, but smash that bell icon to stay notified whenever we drop new content. Also, we love comments and 5-star ratings. Thanks again, Jets fans. Now together, let's fuel the green and white passion. Let's go, Jets.
Welcome to Jet Life Stadium.
Hit it! Hey, what's going on, Jets fans? This is Randy with the One Jets Pod. I'm joined tonight with my co-host, Dominic Lorenz. Dominic, my brother, how are you?
Oh, we're doing fantastic, man. Another week, a lot of hot news topics. Like,
Really? I figured it was
a slow news week?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it's funny how things work. We all week, and I know this will be on the next part of the episode, is we're prepping for another mock draft session.
Yes,
and then the hammer drops with breaking news that's we're spilling the tea here, and we got opinions on it. So it's this, I like it. This is nice for the off season for a change.
I mean, there is a reason this week's episode is called The Clown Show. And there are your main
victims. No, not victims.
Your lead roles, I guess. I don't know. Jackass, we'll call them. Bitch boy weirdos.
Right.
We'll get into them a little bit. First of all, I hope everybody's having a fantastic week despite of what's going on so far in the media. If you've been checking us out on YouTube, we appreciate it. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Smash that bell notification. If you're checking us out on podcast form, make sure to keep checking us out on podcast form, and make sure to give us a 5-star and a following. And thanks for listening all the way till the end. Now, I know there's some stuff we want to talk about, regarding a couple of jag-offs. But on some positive notes, though, I kind of want to touch on first, on some of the things that Joe Douglas said at the, I guess,
Combine.
He's at the Combine. Yeah, he's at the Combine. One clip's behind the scenes, one's at the podium. We'll play one clip. We'll talk about it. This won't be a long show, folks. I'll tell you that right now. We just wanted to come on here and kind of just give you a little something other than a mock draft. Touch on the stuff that's kind of hit the media this week.
We're sizzling the steaks.
A little bit.
The steaks. Come on.
A little bit. Not a full marinade, but a little salt and pepper. All right, so here's the first clip, Joe Douglas.
When you look at this draft class, is there certain positions that stand out in this year's class?
Yeah, I think there are. I think you look at some. I feel like it could be a very jet-friendly draft in terms of the things that we're looking for, and it's a really strong group of offensive line. It's a strong group of receiver. It's a good quarterback group. It's across the board. It's a strong group.
All right, thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Sinead.
Dominic, he said offensive line first.
And then he said wide receiver and quarterback.
But he said offensive line first, though.
I know, but he did. Well, we already knew.
You always say what you mean first.
True. But
come on, we all know
what I loved about Joe Douglas there is he's pretty much saying what we've been doing in these mock drafts the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Offensive line, wide receiver, sprinkle in a quarterback somewhere else, and then everything else will filter throughout because the Jets are deep in certain areas more than others. You're at this time right now where you're prepping for the Combine. Everybody's going to, wet their whistle on whichever quarterback throws an 80-yard on the hook or have a 40-yard dash that's close to 4 seconds or, all the intangibles that's probably going to be streaming on your phone, soon enough. But in the mind of a GM, owner, upper management person in any sport, not just the NFL, you don't want to play your cards too much. You got to be coy, but you got to be honest. And I think that's what Joe Douglas is doing. Every team in America knows that the Jets need O-line. Like, that is not a hidden secret.
Yeah.
Wide receiver is not that much of a hidden secret as well when you have Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback. The backup quarterback position, not much of a shock there either. So it's really just reverbing everything that we've been talking about and the fans have talked about and the media's talked about. But it's good for him to go out in front of a camera, answer the question, and reassure your feelings like, okay, we're not crazy. There is no conspiracy theories that he's going to pull up and go get a punter in the first round. Like, there is no conspiracies going on.
Man.
Because, we'll talk about it a little bit, but, you got Tommy Morstead. You're fine. You're fine.
Well, we don't quite got him. He's a free agent, but hopefully we can get him. I want to lock him up. Give him and Zerline both 5-year deals. Just keep them here, man. Let's just keep them fucking here. I don't want to lose those guys, man.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'll say this. Joe Douglas sounds like a man who's ready to just fucking put it all on the line for this year, dude. And I mean, not just this year. I mean, the guys he can get can contribute, this year and beyond.
Yeah.
But I think the moves he's about to make is going to shock a lot of Jets fans. I think a lot of fans are going to be like, whoa. All right, Mr. Joe Douglas. I think you mean business.
Well, as an outside Jets fan, as a Niner fan,
Give it to me.
is it going to be, and when you mean by shock Jets fans, is it going to be a sense of shocking them by winning the offseason or winning the draft, or making the quality right moves that give justice to what you need to do to accomplish the goals? Because we've talked about it all the time. Your division, the AFC East, in my opinion, is somewhat wide open. It's a 3-team race because New England's not a contender right now. To me, at the moment, this is with no free agency. Okay? Rosters as they are at this moment right now. Buffalo's your 1, Miami's your 2, Jets are the 3. This is how the Jets pull themselves into the number 1 position. Simple. Address your needs. Don't do anything more than you have to do. Don't think you have to hit a grand slam with nobody on base. Sorry for the baseball reference, football fans. Randy knows, me, I love my baseball references. But you don't need to throw a 99-yard Hail Mary on the first play of the game. Do the simple checkdowns. Do what is right. Grease up the hinges. And I think the natural progression of the game of football will naturally put you above Miami, battle for Buffalo, and you'll have your chances where you'll beat Buffalo. Do the right things at the right time.
I'll say this. Shock in the sense, like, you can't shock the Jets fans when it comes to winning the offseason. We've done that many times. We're used to it. There's no shock there. I'm talking shock in the sense that we're going to be willing to spin a little bit, and I think the quality of player that you're going to see walk through that door is going to be a little more mind-boggling than you're used to. You're going to be like, wow, okay. And then once we get through free agency, we're really going to be able to start looking toward where we go toward the draft. Because Joe Douglas could easily. We've already heard, or we're already getting a sense. I wouldn't say we heard, but we're already getting a sense that AVT could be playing right tackle next season.
Okay.
So there's a good chance we could, in free agency, if we want to, we can go out and get another tackle, another guard.
Yeah.
I
feel by doing the right things that I talk about, the options are still open. It's not like you have 10 holes that you only can fill with 5 picks.
Yeah.
And you have to switch positions or different things. You have depth in certain areas. Perfect.
Oh yeah, you got Max Mitchell and Carter Warren that you drafted, just not too long ago.
Exactly.
And if you make the right moves in free agency on the offensive line, you could be looking at going into the draft and getting a Randy Odunze or whatever his name is, or a Brock Bowers.
Well,
a little splash pick, or you could trade back
and garner some picks for later on,
and then maybe get that other guard or whatever later on in the first round.
I think this is something that Jets fans, again, as an outsider, have to, I don't want to say temper expectations, but just take a step back and just breathe for a second. The Jets' first 2 picks of the draft, their first round pick and their third round pick. Because right now, at the moment, there's no second round picks.
Right.
I think Jets fans maybe feel like if they don't get an A++ on those first 2 picks, it is a bad draft. It's going to be, it's going to be danger.
That's fair.
Look at what a lot of teams have done, and I hate, I don't want to be throwing around my 49ers, but Mr. Irrelevant is our quarterback. That was by no means like maybe 5 years ago they said, oh yeah, we knew that was coming. No, nobody knew that, and I'm pleasantly happy about that. Some of these other picks that are, let's say, 4th round and below, for a lot of teams, pan out at the end of the day. So I just want Jets fans as an outsider, if I had to give any love and support approaching draft day and draft theory time as a Niner fan, don't think if you get even an A- on your 10th overall pick and you're like, oh, we didn't get this guy, we should. It's not the end of the world. Now, if the whole draft goes like that, then we'll have a completely different conversation. But it's not going to be won by your first 2 picks, especially, like you said, the Jets find a way to trade down maybe their 3rd round pick and get a couple 4th and 5ths and expand upon there. It's a crazy world out there. You never know what can happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
The eternal optimist here,
Yeah, I just got this. I got a feeling we're just going to have one of those off seasons. I think a lot of Jet fans are going to be happy. I think when you see the final results of free agency and the final results of the draft, I think we're all going to see that Joe Douglas understands the sense of urgency that he has to go into the season with, because this is a regime that is not guaranteed to go past 2024.
Joe Douglas, he feels the heat. It's not like heat like
For
you're going to
sure.
be fired heat, but it's you put this thing in motion. You start it. You lit the fuse.
It's definitely, you got to perform heat.
Yeah, you lit the fuse by signing a guy named Aaron Rodgers. No matter where Aaron Rodgers went, or a caliber player like Aaron Rodgers, players like that expect to win.
Yep.
And when winning doesn't happen, the fire gets hot. And when the fire gets hot, and where there's smoke, there's fire, if a GM does not respond to it like the way Joe Douglas or other GMs in his position would, thriving to want to get back to a winning formula after a tumultuous year, then I would say there's a problem. But everything Joe Douglas is saying right now is what he should be saying. No, there's nothing that I have a problem with, or like, okay, Joe, you need to pump the brakes. You're getting ahead of yours. No,
Right.
Winning. We're not in it for the thrill of a tie or to go home to your Christmas vacation early.
Right.
Go win. And if that means win in the season, well, guess what? If you want to be a contending team for years to come, you can't just win in the season. You have to win the off season. You got to be constructive and productive in the draft. You have so many elements. It is a 365 job. It's not just the 17 weeks plus the playoffs. And I think a lot of people, when we talk about front offices, forget about that. Like, oh, go get these guys, and they'll figure out a way to gel. There is a deeper construct of a roster, and you have to win that construct battle in order to put a quality team on the field. And they started, and that domino fell with Aaron Rodgers, and that shows where this direction of this organization wants to be in. Now it's the execution time. Let's put it out there.
Absolutely. And we got a little bit of I would call it breaking news, but it is now confirmed that Robert Saleh will now be attending the combine with Joe Douglas. That just sounds like a little bit of damage control. Like, Saleh doesn't necessarily have to be there, but I think Joe Douglas just like, dude, just fucking come. And, and Robert's probably, all right, whatever. I'll come for one day, and then I'm going back to watching game tape.
He's like, I'm just going to go up, wave my little hat, and go back. To me, I'm the type of, should a head coach attend a little bit of combine day? Sure, okay, you're the head coach. But that is more for scouting department, front office. Now, if your coach has a strong will in the front office, like, for example, Bill Belichick, what he had in New England.
Good. Go.
Probably in a couple of years, you're going to see Jim Harbaugh with the Chargers have more of an impact. Kyle Shanahan for the Niners has a good relationship with John Lynch. I could see him going. Coaches like that have that such a stronghold and a great relationship with ownership. Yeah, they'll make it for a day, but are they going to be sitting watching every single player? No, that's what the scouting department. The scouting department says, look at this guy, F that guy. That's That's your job. Come on.
Yeah, I'm sure Robert. He's bringing Robert there for they probably got a couple of guys they want to meet with, and so he's just like come meet with these guys. It's probably guys they really like in the draft. They're not going to leak who it is. I mean,
No.
so I just couldn't believe the uproar that got caused when they found out
the Jets.
Going.
It's the Jets. Give them an inch, the media will take a mile.
Yeah. So let's go on to our next Joe Douglas clip. This is only 38 seconds long. Here we go.
Yeah, it's a lot of pieces, but at the same time, we just had some unbelievable meetings with our coaching staff, free agent meetings, and so we feel like, particularly, and look, there's 3 different avenues that we can do this, right? Trade, free agency, and draft, and so going through where we are, the ability, going through the meetings that we just went through, the flexibility, AVT, I feel like there's some guys that can come in and be the right type of fit for us. In terms of the intelligence, reliability, there's some good candidates out there that can come in and help us.
He noticed he said guys. There's a couple of guys out there. He's looking at multiple dudes on that offensive line, which is why I think we're going to have a little bit more flexibility in the upcoming draft than a lot of people think. I honestly think, dude, I think we may go out in that draft and trade back and pick up another first-round pick, maybe a second-round pick in this year's draft. I got a feeling, dude.
Like I said, the options for Joe Douglas right now, he is in control of those options. He is not pinned against a wall where he's kind of handcuffed and he's got to make something out of nothing. He's got the majority of the buffet bar where he can do what he wants to do. And he feels content that he can say it. Now, again, he's not going to leak names or not going to tamper, all the other things.
Right.
But the situation and the fact of the matter is the options are on the table. The key is finding the best quality options to fit the needs of this organization. And I think they know what those needs are. So it's now just a matter of finding the right puzzle piece at the right time in the right situation. And that's what a GM does. Have no fear. I think you breathe. This is what you want to hear. This is the good part about it. Really, it is.
No, I think he's got I think him and Robert got a plan.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think we're just going to be getting out of February here, the next day or so.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets are I believe 18th in the league right now in salary cap space at about $24.5 million. And that's before all the restructures that come. This is a team that could possibly have an upward number of $80 million this offseason to spend, dude.
There's a lot of money that they can spend.
Sure.
Utilize. And what Joe Douglas said about trade, free agency, and draft. I really don't see the Jets on the trading end of the market.
No.
Like to retain, like maybe they trade Zach Wilson because they already said the news broke that they seek, they're allowing him to seek a trade. A low ball trade. They're not going to go trade for, and even though this isn't happening because the Raiders' new GM said it's not going anywhere, but they're not going to go load the fence to go get Devontae Adams. They're not. I don't foresee them levying the farm and the picks for that.
There's just too much need right now to be going out there and just throwing away draft capital and all that stuff.
Yeah, no. But I think all is well with Joe Douglas. Keep the faith. And as an outsider who thankfully in the 49ers organization has really great GM and ownership that always has the right things in mind, and we've seen it year in and year out, this is on that pathway and in that hemisphere. These are what you need to do, especially when winning is bubbly and it's on the horizon right now. You're trying to, I don't want to say play the underdog mentality, but you're trying to bounce back. These are the things that you got to do during the bounce back portion.
No, you're absolutely right. And all of it right now is just talk until everything, becomes official. I think we'll know, because I'll tell you right now, Jet social media is undefeated, especially when it comes to like the legal tampering period and the free agency period itself.
Yeah.
I mean, we got boots on the ground, dude. And I mean, there was one year when the whole Robert Saleh thing was going on, when we were trying to hire coaches and stuff at the time. I mean, we literally had a duo hiding out in the bushes, leaking that Robert Saleh had showed up to the building. That's what we're at, bro. Any other fan base doing that shit? Nobody can touch this fucking fan base when it comes to social media. I'm sorry, dude. I'm fucking sorry. Nobody.
No.
Nobody. We are the utmost best, and not only best, but the most fucking batshit crazy social media.
I can't say that the 49er faithful have done that. So, cheers to you, Jets fans.
We don't fuck around, dude. You know, you
guys are crazy.
Jet fans are on another level when it comes to their football. I mean, it's just for a lot of. You got to understand, when it comes to the Jets fans, we're the blue-collar group when it comes to the New York fan base. And so for a lot of Jet fans, including myself, I could put myself in that category, you know, in a lot of aspects of my life. And sometimes the Jets are sometimes your Jets and the Mets or the Jets and the Angels like myself are all you got sometimes. Yeah. And so they mean a fucking lot to a lot of people, man. So like when people talk to a Jet fan, when you see the fucking passion, like that shit's fucking real. Like, yeah, we'll tell you like straight up. I'm sorry for my cursing, ladies and gentlemen. You know how I can get. I'll tell you straight up. We make the goddamn Jets our personality because that's who the fuck we are.
Yeah. No, and you want to be faithful like that. You want to have that strong bond with your team, and having those feelings when the team loses and you're feeling gutted.
Mm-hmm.
That's the love of a fan. When you have that jubilation when you win, that's the sign of a true fan. And everybody expresses it differently and so on and so forth. But that's, again, it's okay. It's fine. Enjoy it. Do what you got to do.
Like when you think about the players that come play for the Jets, like I watch a lot of other teams play a lot. I watch their players. You know, I watch the free agents come in or whatever. But when you see free agents or when you see guys come to the Jets, like there's a different sense of pride of being a Jet, especially when you're winning. Yeah, like you can go anywhere else, win, and I think a lot of the media has a lot to do with it. Has a play in it and all that. But there's just a sense of pride when it comes to playing for the New York Jets, man. Mm-hmm. Like people, they discredit like we're not some historic franchise. Fuck you, the hell we ain't.
The media likes to drive the narrative. Like, for example, you know, everybody talks about the Bills because of Bills Mafia and the tailgating scene and different things, and think they have the wildest fans of the bunch.
Cool.
They talk about
Super Bowl.
You know, fans talk about the Raiders because they paint their face black and silver. You know,
that's kind of cool though.
You know, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Spike, man. That guy's still around. That motherfucker's badass.
No, the Spike. Remember when they were playing at the O.co with the dirt and everything? The whole classic. Oh, yeah. You know, you talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers because of the terrible towels and the history. Mm-hmm. You know, there's so many things that can go with an organization, regardless if you're winning or losing. Like this week, you know, everybody's bagging on the Commanders like they've been because the team and organizational report cards came out and there's like F's all over the Commanders grading scale. If it's food, training facility, stadium, player response.
Yeah, that fan base is pissed.
You know, I get it.
They're like, fuck everybody.
You know, so what are you going to do at that point? But I think overall, however you as the fans watching, you, Randy, as a Jets fan, Brandon and everybody else, how you guys are fans of the Jets, yeah, you've had your highs of highs, lows of lows. And you're kind of in this, it's the typical offseason mentality of hoping for the better thing the next upcoming offseason and theories, and this is how to make the team better and the construction era of the offseason.
Yeah.
This is perfectly normal behavior. To me, again, I think, and maybe I'm a little, I don't want to say airheady, but maybe I'm a little aloof in this sense because I'm not a Jets fan, like diehard like you guys. Again, I'm 49ers first, and I can root for the Jets and read about the Jets and focus on the Jets as much as anybody else. I don't believe in my heart that the Jets need to turn the corner and go to full desperation mode as if the championship window is closing and it's this year or bust. Is it this year or bust in the sense of getting back on the right track and getting on a winning formula? Yeah, You don't want to waste Aaron Rodgers. You don't want to waste Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson in this defense. Of course not. But is it Lombardi Trophy or next offseason we burn the whole place down and start fresh? No.
Let's just try to get to the fucking playoffs first.
Again,
Before we start preaching, Lombardi Trophy to you, let's just try to maybe win the division first, and then maybe try to get in the playoff and see what goes. See what happens from there.
The goal this year should get back to a winning culture.
Absolutely.
That's how the Niners had to do it. They had to get to that winning culture again. Then you elevate, and that winning culture came by everything that happened teamwork-wise at the practice field and starting from the bare bones. But then it was winning divisions, getting deep into the playoffs, going to Super Bowls. Now, the Niners haven't won a Super Bowl yet, but still, it's the framework of the ideal at the end of the day that builds that winning culture. And I'm thankful that the Niners have that. Got to put the nail in the coffin with other teams. That's, okay. My skin's crawling right now from a couple weeks ago. But winning culture is a huge element. A lot of people underestimate a winning culture. They just think you can slap the best roster on paper and get to the dance. You got to have that culture to support.
I've seen that too many times fail. You
got to have the culture in the back end side of things. And I think this is what this upcoming season for the Jets, the 2024 season, is all about. Like every team, be as healthy as you can be and find that winning culture. And if that translates to winning the division, or even if it's not winning the division, it's getting to the postseason, even in a wild card berth, that's a winning culture to me to counteract what the heck happened this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And to touch on your organizational report card comment a little bit ago, to tell you the truth, I don't put a whole lot of stock into those fucking things like a lot of people do.
I don't.
And I know you understand why. Because you could really look like let's be real, like the fucking Jets don't have a winning culture, like you just said, but our ownership got B plus or got a B in the fucking rating. The homeboys that just won the Super Bowl, the old Kansas City Chiefs, they got an F.
Yeah. It's like having
maybe because they just run a real tight ship that a lot of people just like, fuck, it's like being in the fucking military here. Yeah, well, you're winning.
Yeah. It's
go somewhere else then.
It's like a real job where you have, your evaluations, and you can have one disgruntled employee that screws up the whole system. So really, I don't take much stock into it. It does put in a little perspective of different elements of an organization that you don't talk about all the time. Like, how often on this podcast or any podcast do you really talk about what the players' meal choices are in the cafe or whatever? Yeah. Like, okay, you get to find some different nuances that you maybe didn't know before. But there's not that much stuff.
Like, let's be fucking real. Like, those guys aren't eating in that fucking place outside a goddamn training camp anyway. Like come on, dude. Like,
they're walking in with
time they're fucking at home or eating out, dude. Like, come on.
These guys coming in OTAs on Hard Knocks and stuff. Come on, these guys coming into Hard Knocks, if it was the Jets, the Lions, or the last couple of years, they're walking into OTAs with their Starbucks and their McDonald's and whatever. What the? Stop it!
That much fucking time in the Jet Chow Hall. Like, come on, dude.
This isn't. They're
not gonna have like 5-star gourmet meals. It's really a lot of grab and go bullshit. Probably.
This is the NFL. This isn't college where players are, college athletes are living on campus with a meal deal and different things. Yeah. This is the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So probably DoorDash and shit to fucking meetings, bro. Like, come on.
Stop it.
I ain't eating the Chow Hall fucking meatloaf when I can DoorDash, when my rich ass can DoorDash fucking
goddamn. Aaron Rodgers is probably
gonna burger fucking like this with some fries.
Stop it,
bro.
Stop it.
But I can understand, like, they probably think that shit's probably trash food. Yeah, I could probably compare what they're used to eating. It probably is trash food, but it's not meant to be like fucking 5-star. It's supposed to be nutritional, probably healthy. This is for athletes, man. I'm sure they got their little cheat stuff there, but this is for athletes. Like, it's not going to be straight up fucking a goddamn continental breakfast of fucking sugary cereals and pastries and all that bullshit across the fucking board. No, man, it's protein, fruit, and shit like that, meat, all that crap.
Yeah.
And it probably gets bad grade because it probably sits under a fucking heat lamp for a while. Oh, shit, go figure.
There's plenty.
People just bitch about the stupidest shit. Like, that shit don't even fucking matter, bro.
No. But
when a guy like Denzel Mims, when motherfuckers start getting sick, then you start worrying about that shit. Bro.
yeah, but at the end of the day, I don't put much stock into it.
So that kind of is a good segue into the next half of this fucking show. I thought this show was going to be short. I figured we'd be done, but we're going 35 minutes already, and we're just getting to the clown portion of the fucking episode, dude. Like, man, I'm ready for this one, dude.
Man,
I am ready for this one. So, Dominic, you are not clueless to what we're about to talk about.
Nope.
I'm sure you kept an eye on a lot of my tweets these past couple of days.
Yes, I have.
Everything that's fucking gone on, dude. I mean, I went off. You cannot say I have not gone off. Especially today, dude. Like, I couldn't shut the fuck up. I think a lot of people at one point were just like, all right, 1JP.
These are the moment. Yeah, these type of news stories just sometimes you just gotta laugh and just be like, what? Like, I don't know anymore. I really don't.
Now, I'm going to play us a clip. Now, I want to get this guy out of the way because, to me, his shit's not as bad. I mean, he does say some stupid shit, but his isn't as bad as the other little punk.
This is a foot in your mouth moment.
Yeah, big time. So, little Dion Dawkins.
Keep it a buck. I hate them. All of them, bro. I feel like they play the sport to try to be cool. Like, those are a bunch of dudes that just want to take pictures on Instagram. You know, Quentin Williams, solid. I respect the dude. Quinn Williams is valid. I like him. When Todd Bowles was there, I respect him. Temple guy too. Couple guys.
Yeah, he knows
Even
better.
Like D-line coach Ryan Davis, he was one of my teammates. Cool. I'm gonna get them off the grid. Now the rest of them, don't care. Don't like you.
That's such a bad. I mean, dude, let's be real, dude. The biggest bunch of bullshit I ever heard anybody say that the New York Jets, and he's referring to a lot of defensive guys too. Like, let's be real. Like, that's who he's going up against most of the time. And these guys are just Instagram. If you look at this guy's Instagram, I think we know who the Instagram queen is here. Like, come on, dude. Like, the Jets aren't fucking like we have the. Well, 2 years ago, the offense and defensive rookie of the fucking years, man. And you got Jermaine Johnson, who just keeps beasting out, who's going to be a lot better. He's probably going to put that son of a bitch on his ass next year. Just watch out. Like, this isn't a team of fucking Instagram divas and shit. Like, do they have personalities? Like, do they have, like, out of this world personalities? Probably. Are they into their social media? Yeah, a lot of motherfuckers are nowadays.
Yeah.
But to say this team doesn't give a shit about football, like, come on, dude. Like, we're talking about Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Aaron Rodgers, Jermaine Johnson, C.J. Mosley, Quincy Williams. Like, I'm sure the fucking numbers and the stats pretty much say that these guys give a whole lot of shit about football. Oh, and by the way, they're really fucking good, too.
I don't even want, like, I want to talk about this, but at the same time, it's like you don't want to justify it. But this is my quick little 2 cents about it, because I agree with everything you said. To me, this comes across as video game, 2 a.m. in the morning, BS trash talk just to get some views. Like, this
You're
is
looking like a cartoon version of Rick Ross with his
I really feel you can't take him seriously. Like, he's laughing through it and he's like he's like got all the facial features and it just like,
dude, he's talking about the Jets players chasing clout and this motherfucker's on Vlad without his shirt on, bro.
Yeah, like
if that doesn't scream, oh, look at me,
check your source. Check your source. I honestly, dude, I'll be real. Who is he?
Just a fucking Buffalo Bills offensive lineman.
Who is he? Like, who? Like, this isn't like...
I think he's like on his 3rd or 4th team.
Yeah. This is, to me...
He's okay, but he's not a fucking barn burner.
It's a complete clown show. No pun intended, is the name of the show today. But it is a clown show. And it's really, to me, it's just something that seems very high school, Friday night... You're in the handshake line. You're yammering at your friend who's on the rival squad. We're better than you. We got this better. It's like, look at the scoreboard. You're
dude,
dumb.
You gotta. I don't know if you remember, but this all stemmed from that tunnel argument with him and Michael Clemens.
Even
dude,
more
if you got
validity. You're
like if you
just
got beef with
bitching.
Clemens, fucking fine. Like I get it. I saw the clip. I mean, Clemens was in your face. You put your fucking hands up. I don't know what all this bullshit that you're talking about in the whole clip that he mentioned, but like that's where it all stemmed from. But yeah, you hold on, dude. You're throwing a whole crew of other motherfuckers that had nothing to do with that under the bus. Like that just shows you what kind of coward bitch you are.
One word. Emasculated. I rest my case. Mic drop. Like,
I mean, he was on his ass a few times against the Jets. I mean,
come on. Like, I'm always a connoisseur type person where you prove it on the field. Some days you have your good stuff and some days you have your bad stuff. But on your good day, if you're doing this, then you better be taking it and spouting off when you're having your bad day too.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I don't watch a lot of Vlad TV, but I always thought Vlad TV was a bunch of used to be and has-beens. I mean, is he heading down that line? I mean,
I thought Vlad TV was a highlight reel of Vladimir Guerrero.
It should be.
Hey,
be a lot better than watching clowns like that fucking spout off.
Exactly. Like I said, I think it's just no pun intended. It's a clown show. He's trying to get clicks. He's trying to stir the pot into next season. And dumb. Emasculated.
That's a good enough word as any, man. I mean,
Like,
shit.
Yeah. My IQ went up 10 points.
Really?
My IQ went up by listening to that, so I feel good about myself.
I feel like I lost a brain cell.
Maybe he
I feel like I lost brain cells just looking at it.
Maybe he jumped through too many tables at the Bills Mafia tailgate party and look, a little something lost up there here, folks.
Sitting there with no shirt.
Yeah, but if that's a clown show, if that guy's a clown show, imagine Clown Show Part 2. It's an encore edition.
So you could tell the defense got a standard, but the offense is just like, all right, we've just figured it out. It's an Aaron show. Let Aaron do what Aaron do, you know what I mean? But then when Aaron go down, it's like, we don't know what to do. But this is that same coach that just was out of a job the previous year, then average get a new job. I know for a fact I'm better than him for sure. Like, I ain't trying to, I know I'm better than him. I'm better than him too. Garrett Wilson, the only person y'all should just be like, hey. So I have no problem with y'all putting around Garrett Wilson for sure. I don't care. Like, that's fine. But when it comes to certain other things, it's like, come on, like, I don't understand why I'm not in the rotation with that. And y'all never gave me a reason as to why either. Like, I know what winning looks like.
Right.
I know what winning is. So y'all keep telling me certain things. It's like, I'm not going for that. Like, because y'all not doing it right. Like, we got hammers on the ground. We don't got no discipline. People feel like it's too many individual egos in this locker room or whatever. And I'm telling them, like, that's not going to get y'all to win. It's not going to happen.
That's rich. We're talking egos, and he's sitting there on that show.
I'm better than everybody. I'm the best.
Yeah.
Oh,
like if you're so good,
but Garrett Wilson. I meant to say Garrett Wilson. But I'm good. But he had to supplement that at the end because he kind of forgot.
Well, first of all, if you're so fucking good, why did the Super Bowl champions last year let you walk to the Jets? And if you're so good, like, why couldn't the Jets just trade you for a draft pick straight up instead of having to throw in an extra 7 to entice the fucking Chiefs to take you? And then the Chiefs throw you on the bench for there's a 5 or 6 game stretch where he doesn't even show up on the stat sheet.
No,
dude.
and the only thing that everybody probably watching can comment on is he got a ring. They beat the Niners. Okay, he made 2 whopping catches, and yes, was one of them the game-winning touchdown in overtime again as my skin crawls. Yes. Cool. Good for you. There's great Hall of Fame-worthy athletes in any sport that don't have championships. Okay? Let's put that again. Let's put it out there. There are Hall of Fame players, not Hall of Fame worthy, but actual Hall of Famers that don't have a ring.
Yep.
Rings do not equal Hall of Fame best ever to do it. Right. It entices the case. Yeah. It makes the nice.
It helps when you got the numbers.
Yeah.
If you got the numbers, and it really helps that fucking lot go.
Yeah.
But if you don't got the numbers and you got fucking 4 rings, that just says, okay, you were in the right place at the right time. Congratulations.
McCole Hardman.
There's a lot of athletes in your fucking shoes, pal.
McCole Hardman has 166 receptions for 2,212 yards, 16 touchdowns in his 4.5-year career.
Cool.
Well, his 5-year career. Okay. He's averaging.
He's fucking Houdini on the football field, dude. He
Yeah.
disappears.
He disappeared, but the reason why, like, I don't know, his rookie year, 26 receptions on 41 targets. But out of those 26 receptions, 6 of those were touchdowns. So he only had 20 non-touchdown catches. He had 4 touchdowns in 2020 out of 41 receptions. So he's a red zone threat. But again, he had Mahomes in his first couple of years, and Mahomes again. Put McCole Hardman on the team with a sub quarterback or an average quarterback. Put him on the Atlanta Falcons with Taylor Heineke and Doofball, who was it, Desmond Ritter. No one's going to know your name. It's like Chase Claypool. He got traded after one good year from Pittsburgh, and he is an absolute 6-string JV squad nobody. No. You're talking, if you lose, if the Chiefs lose the Super Bowl, this interview doesn't happen. Sorry.
Yeah.
He's not in that hot seat if that happens. And like,
well, I'll do you one better. So even if the Chiefs do win, if he doesn't make the fucking catch, he ain't doing no interview. Nobody gives a fuck about him.
No, hey, come on. This is a guy who's trying to sell himself because he's a free agent.
Yeah.
He's got nowhere to go.
Job of it, that's for sure.
He is trying to sell himself like, hey, I made catches in the Super Bowl. I've done this. And he's blaming the other you're blaming your ex-employer for why you sucked at the Jets.
You should be going on this Super Bowl tour, and you're sitting there blaming your former employer.
What team is going to want to hire this guy when it's like, oh, okay, so when the chips are down, he's going to blame everybody else instead of trying to find a solution. Right. He's going to want to go to the next best thing with a team that's contending.
Yeah. And not only that, when the chips are down, how about this, brother? How about this? We're leaking game plans now to the fucking opponent? How about that, dude? This little bitch boy weirdo's fucking leaking our game plan. It makes sense why we didn't look that great against Philadelphia. You know, we had to make the second half adjustments. But I will say this. Bro. For if that's the actual fucking case, that he leaked the game plan to the Philadelphia Eagles players, and that got it around to the rest of the team, the defensive job that Ulbrich did, and remember, this is the game where we had no DJ Reed and no Sauce Gardner.
Yep.
And we held Philadelphia to 14 points.
That tells you how good Ulbrich did.
Yeah.
But also how fraudulent the Eagles were this year.
Yeah. Frauds, dude. Fucking frauds, bro.
Now, I if you're leaking game plans and whatever else, that's clearly on you at that point. Like, yeah, because I'm pretty sure Robert Saleh told McCole Hardman, go leak some footage just so we can get some news clicks. No. This fool, man, again, just like the guy from Buffalo, man, this is what drives my IQ down. Knowing that he exists in this world, in this capacity, not as a human being, but just in this football realm, and there's other players that should have the spotlight, he's acting like a darn fool.
Yeah.
Not shame on us for talking about it, but shame on others for finding truth in this. Those that find truth in this, I'm sorry that your brain has a lack of mental capacity that understands common sense reality. And I mean, we're talking about, dude, this guy refused to return fucking punts. Like who the fuck are you, dude? Like, you signed a contract to come play here. You do what the fuck you do whatever the fuck coach tells you to do. And he's starting to blame, well, Aaron Rodgers, he can do whatever he wants. So there really wasn't a game plan.
Yeah, no shit.
Wilson, like, okay.
You think you can't just because you won a couple of Super Bowl to Pat Mahomes? Fucker.
Oh, okay. So Aaron Rodgers can do whatever the hell he wants, and you're like not okay with it. But Mahomes,
Bitch, he's the reason why you came, motherfucker.
but you're coming from a guy like Patrick Mahomes who, he bowed down to Andy Reid and didn't do anything outside of the perfect square box. No, Mahomes went off script how many effing times?
Yeah,
Stop it.
Show,
how many of your 16 touchdowns with the Chiefs were probably Patty Mahomes' imagination kind of, run around and just find somebody?
Yeah,
I'm going to guess probably half. What the hell are you doing? You just came from crybaby Kermit the Frog to go to Aaron Rodgers, and you're going to complain Aaron Rodgers is more of an ego. Bull from the highest paid quarterback in the league? Stop it. The guy that's doing this every play, finger in the air, like, come on, stop.
And he throws our special teams guy under the bus when we talk about not returning those fucking punts. Like, I'm not going to return punts for you. Like, Brett Boyer has been a special teams coach for how long? Like, well over 10 plus years. And never once as a player ever came out in any kind of capacity to talk. Like, everyone's always had good things to say about this guy. Like, clearly you're the fucking problem here, dude. Like, a coach comes to ask you to return punts for them, and you're too fucking good to do it because you didn't do it during the week.
You know where I think this is coming from?
Where's that?
Not only did the Chiefs win, and Hardman had the big catch earlier in the game and the touchdown in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Taylor Kelsey herself hugged him after that game in the celebration and told him how wonderful he was.
Oh, no.
He's living off a T-Swifty high and probably thinking, he's like, oh, baby, you're the greatest. If Travis leaves me, I'm coming for you. And he's kind of like up on a high, man, let's go, bro. Like, stop. Like, again, this is the dumb-ass crapola that makes me just... Maybe he's had one too many hits to the head.
I would say so. And, bro, let me tell you, the stupidity doesn't even end there. Listen to this clip.
I'm telling you right, I was so checked out. Like, it's over. I already talked to Vija, Pat. Like, hey, bro, come get me, bro. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, what are we talking about? Like, man, come get me.
Bro,
like.
but they do come get you, dog.
You just admitted on fucking film, on literal tape to all 32 fucking NFL teams that you tend to check out and not give a fuck.
I'm not to disrespect anybody, but can the dude learn in English?
And not only is he fucking showing all of 32 teams that he likes to check out when things don't go his way. Let's listen to that clip one more time.
I'm telling you right, I was so checked out. Like, it's over. I already talked to Vija. Pat. Like, get me, bro. Like, what are y'all doing? What are we talking about? Like, man, come get me, bro.
But they do come get you,
He's
dog.
literally talking about tampering, bro. Like, he reached out to the Chiefs. I don't know who and Patty, but he said, "Come get me." And so the next thing you know, the Chiefs are calling or whatever, and like I said, even the Chiefs, man, they're like, all right, if you throw an extra 7th in, we'll take it. Dude, he's literally talking about tampering, dude.
It's almost like it was a well-orchestrated plan for him to go to the Jets because the Jets were thought to be Super Bowl contenders, and he would have been like the decoy to like get all the info, pass it to Patty Mahomes, and then the Chiefs win the Super Bowl and all this stuff. So it's like, you know what? And the funny thing was the person that's in charge of this interview, Ryan Clark, who's on ESPN, who's a constant Jet like negative about the Jets, and he rides the Mahomes dick train, and he's interviewing McCole Hardman, who's riding the dick train with the slobber hanging. Like, this is so... Like, even when there's no NFL games to be played, the NFL script is still undefeated. Like, come on. Now, the Buffalo Bills stuff, I felt my IQ go up 10 points because I feel smarter and you're dumb. This, just being in the presence of this man, my IQ drops to like 50, 60 points. Like,
dude, I don't see how this guy gets a job. Like, who's going to sign this fucking clown? Like, that's the UFL, dude.
His agent's going to pump out that he's a 2-time or 3-time, whatever, Super Bowl champion, and this man deserves to be in the league. You can't put the champion down, man. You can't do
I'll tell you
it,
this. I hope and pray that he signs with the team that's on our fucking schedule next year. Because I'll tell you what, the minute wherever he signs, if it's on our schedule, I guarantee you, our boy circle that game, dude.
That mother effer would not make wouldn't even make a week in 49ers OTAs. The rookies would beat him out, man. Screw that, man.
Remember, if he doesn't get his way, he ain't doing nothing. So if you want him to return punts or no, man, I didn't do that this week. I didn't return no punts.
Man, if he was on the 49ers and did that and Brock Purdy was like, hey, man, come on. He'd probably go egg Brock Purdy's parents' house. He'd be having a bitch fit. Like, man, that's
man.
Hey,
Hey,
you, Randy, and the Jets fans and Niners fans or NFL fans that truly respond and love their team and make connections with players. This is a player you don't make connections with.
Yeah. And I will say this. Tommy Morstead, our punter, as you see right up there. Yeah, big props to old Tommy, man. He went out there and put, you got to be careful getting information from a disgruntled former employee. Getting beat out by a rookie free agent after being guaranteed millions of dollars is tough to deal with. Entitlement is a killer of opportunity. And he's absolutely right, man. Like, Tommy has nothing to gain as far as the Jets. I mean, I'm sure he wants to play with the Jets. He loves being here. But I'll tell you right now, Tommy Morstead will have a job no matter what. I'm sure a lot of teams will be vying for Tommy Morstead. So I really hope we lock him up. But the fact that he's able to go out there and back the Jets up, a lot of these other guys are saying, like these guys were in the locker room with you, dude. Like, they fucking know you. I'm gonna believe our locker, especially a guy like Tommy Morstead. Like, what does he have to gain for lying?
I'm telling you right now, Tommy Morstead again.
The man.
Cheers to him.
Yeah.
The two things that I took out from that tweet, and this will be my final thought on this because I'm echoing we're agreeing on this 100%. Yeah. 2 words. Well, 3 words technically. Millions of dollars. Well, technically, this should be 4 words. Millions of dollars and entitlement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Put those 2 things together, and you get some greedy sons of bitches in sports and in life. This dude, and at the end of the day, he not only got a ring out of this, he walked away with his money. He got everything anybody would want. Yeah. And he's going to go out and still bitch about it. If that was me, I would sit down, shut up, and be at home and talk about it internally, not go to the media, because guess what? You won at the end of the day. You got your ring, and you got your bag of cash. Now go home.
Yeah.
Why are you going to put
your... like the rappers back in the day. They got everything, and they're still mad.
Yeah. It's like, pump the brakes, calm down, go sit down, be humble, and don't act like a jerk. Like, you're just a freaking jag-off at this point. Like,
yeah.
You're not...
Total clown show,
You are not going to get top dog money. You never were. You never are. You're never gonna. Bye-bye. You won your rings. Probably in 15, 20 years from now when you blow all your money because you're dumb, you're going to have to sell a couple of your Super Bowl rings to blow more money. But and move on.
His little jet chain. Well, I know he had that before he was with the Jet, but
dumb.
So
clown show, folks. Clown
show like a motherfucker. And we'll throw it back up there. Clown show. These jagoffs. So, yeah, I think that's going to do it for this episode. I don't think you got anything else, Dom.
No, it was fun. Yeah, can't wait to swing on over and do mock drafts.
Yeah, absolutely. Like ladies and gentlemen,
stick around, folks.
If you haven't watched the mock draft first, and you watch this first, that head on over to the next video.
I'm GM this week. A non-Jets fan.
At him with all your hate mail.
Yep. As a partial Jets fan, because the Niners come first, I'm in charge this week of free agency. Come at me or don't. Whatever. Yep. But we're going to love it. And we're going to jump on over to this next. So to Clown Show, to mock draft, because, hey, we're acing the mock draft stuff. So that's.
I think so.
Let's go, baby.
Especially last week when Joe Altfield was, man. That was.
Maybe again. We'll see how the simulator works.
Hopefully. So, hey, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for checking us out here on the One Jets pod. On behalf of Dominic and myself, as well as Brandon, we appreciate all your support. Again, if you're listening on the audio side of things, thank you for listening all the way to the end. Make sure to follow us and give us that 5-star rating. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe. Smash that bell notification. And like always, we'll see you down the road. Go Jets.
Welcome to Jet Life Stadium.
Hit it!